Steve Brewer. I'm the owner and president of BBS Electric Battery Supplies, and today I'm going to show you how to make a battery cable. This is my mobile showroom here, and I have everything you need to make your own battery cables with right here on the back of my truck. And I'm going to pull some of these items out here. We're going to go into the shop, and I'm going to show you how to make a battery cable. Through how to make a battery cable. This should be pretty simple, straightforward. Basically, this cable kit comes with the 4-gauge cable, a 2-gauge cable, a crimp tool, a stripper tool, a pair of cable cutters, and a heat gun, and everything you need, all your terminals and lugs and shrink tubing and dust covers to build your own cable with. I'm going to start off by making a 4-gauge positive terminal cable. This terminal is color-coded. It's got a red 4 and a P to indicate 4-gauge positive and the color red. So it's a very simple, straightforward, easy way to understand what type of cable that is. This, of course, is a black 4-gauge with an N for negative. So we're going to make ourselves a 4-gauge battery terminal cable. To start with, I want to grab some 4-gauge black cable here, which comes with the kit. I'm going to take a stripper tool, which was a very nice device for stripping battery cables with. This will take the insulation off of the cable. It's got a spring-loaded clamp, and it has a blade inside here, which is adjustable by using a screwdriver down on the bottom of the tool to set the depth of the height of the blade inside there, which digs into the insulation of the battery cable that you are stripping. So as you can see, I'm beginning to push this onto the insulation of the outside of this battery cable here, and as that blade begins digging in with the pressure of the clamp pulling down on the cable, this is going to spin around here as I do this, kind of like a pipe cutter. And after I've spun it a few times, I'm going to put pressure with my thumb and slide this out, and here you have a piece of insulation that I just stripped off of this battery cable. Now the cable is ready for positioning and crimping. I'm going to slide a piece of red shrink tubing around the cable here like this, down below here, and then I'm going to slide this cable into the positive 4-gauge terminal lug, like so. These lugs have a special alignment right here for crimping twice. You crimp once on the outside, then crimp once on the inside. Now as I demonstrate this hex crimp tool, this hex crimp tool enables you to crimp from 6-gauge all the way up to 6-aught-gauge in cable ends. With the color-coded die settings that are in here, these crimp dies, you can basically push down on this lever that is spring-loaded and spin around these hex dies to the position that you would need in order to crimp the color-coded terminal. In this case, this is a gray number 4 25 hex crimp, which is also listed here. It says 4-gauge 25. I know you can't see that from here, but that will give you an idea of how to crimp the connector into the crimp tool. As I slide that in there, I'm going to do my first crimp by pushing down using the crimp tool. We crimp our first crimp on the outside first, because if you crimp the inside first, it tends to push the cable out. So you want to do a 1-2 operation crimp. So as I push down here, I have now completed my crimp of this battery cable, and I'm now ready to slide the shrink tube up to the terminal that I just crimped, and then use the heat gun to melt it right on there. The heat gun has a high setting. You can just simply set it for high. It has a deflector shield. I'm going to place the deflector shield right over the shrink tubing of the cable that I just crimped, and this is going to melt down and release a glue substance inside. It's double-walled shrink tube, and that's designed to seal the outer edges of the terminal so that there will be no chance for corrosion after you've properly shrunk down the shrink tube onto your terminal. Now you're all set to go. This is tapered, and these are tin-coated copper. These are the best in the industry. These are race car grade terminal lugs that would slide directly onto the top of your positive terminal post. Then with the hardware that the kit comes with, of course, you would then put your hardware, your 5/16 square head nut and bolt onto the terminal. You're ready to go to install that onto your car, and of course, as long as you would need the cable to be, you would of course cut the other end of the cable and then install the lug on the other side of the cable, which would either go to your starter solenoid or go to your starter or wherever that would be. So that's the nice thing about this cable kit, is that it enables you really to repair cables and to build your own cable ends for roughly $5 your cost for parts. Labor is on you, but for you commercial dealers out there who make your own cables or who have ever bought cables, know that sometimes the dealers can charge anywhere from $60 upwards of $100 or more for a battery cable in order to resell it to a customer. In this case here, with such a kit, your economic value is very nice because it's only costing you $5, $6 in actual parts to make a cable. So I've basically shown you how to make a battery cable, and that's it. You can do it in 4-gauge, 2-gauge. You can go all the way up to 1/0, 2/0 gauge, commercial trucks, tow trucks, RVs, boats, race cars, Toyotas, American, Japanese, anything, you name it. There's, of course, other accessories that exist that I don't have right in front of me in this kit, but those are also available through bbselectric.com. Thanks very much for your time, and I hope I've taught you something new of how to make a cable. Well, thanks a lot for joining me today. I hope this video was instructional for you, and feel free to join me online at bbselectric.com. Well, catch you later.